Okay, so it is now 8 o'clock. So I guess I'll start. So as many of you know, hello? Okay, hello, Chaim Cohen. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Where are you from in Israel? We'll have a little circle so everybody's going to tell us where they are located. So today is the day of memorial of the soldiers and terror victims who passed over the last more than 72 years. And it's also the time we usually meet once a week. And with the 2020 Co-Vision project that we started 1st of January to create a better future for ourselves and the world. And so I felt like we should also work with the pandemic and the losses we have today and the losses we have in the past. So I'm going to just give some facts about the people and numbers that we've lost over this last century. Of course, there's more other terrible things that happen and natural disasters, but I'll give the most crisis-oriented periods, and then I'll do a meditation, and we'll bring it further on to Mordechai. So if we look at the First World War, we had around 20 million people who died, and half of them were civilians and half of them were soldiers. And the world was in a trance of the old paradigm of killing and devoid of compassion, of course, and run by leaders and various, regimes. And the heart consciousness was not very much there. And then we have the Second World War. We had 80 million, between 70 to 85 million, but around 80 million people who passed. And that was even worse in terms of the whole aspect of it, and in terms of keeping dignity of a human being and the human mind and the human heart in these very, very tragic times. And we just had last week on day of the memorial of the 6 million who passed, and my mother was in the war as well. So it adds another aspect of it. And today we have 23,800 soldiers who passed in the Israeli army over these last 72 years, and 4,166 in terror victims, altogether around 28,000. And today in this COVID pandemic, we have 3 million people are affected by this virus. And so far, 207,000 people have died all over the world. So I'd like to dedicate this evening to all those who passed, and for the memorial of the soldiers of all wars, and how we need to bring now more consciousness of the feminine and Mother Earth and loving kindness, and get out of this old patriarchy of war and weapons. And also on a personal note, I know a few people I'd like to mention, to have them also in our mind when we do the meditation. Okay. So if everybody is ready, I'm going to say a few people, and then maybe you can quickly share where you're from and who you'd like to bring to the meditation who maybe passed away. Or if it's another time frame, not in the pandemic or during the war. And then we'll have Mordechai take over into another place of bringing the more esoteric place of death and our soul journey. And at the end, we'll open up the circle for more emotional sharing, or if anything else comes up, or sharing more stories. Okay, so in honor of a few people that I know who passed, and I'm going to say Azulai from Stockholm, Benny Wolf from Germany. Ariela, who was a Holocaust survivor in Israel, was one of the first who died in the COVID-19. And Adam Alsing, who is a program leader here in Sweden, and many, many, many others who didn't get a proper burial, who couldn't hold their hands when they were passing, and many difficult situations of their passing these last few months. Okay, so if you want to tell me where you're from briefly, and then we'll come back to you again. I see Laura from Paris. You want to say hello?
I would like to share a name, but I'll wait till, are we doing that all at once, or?
If you want to say the name now, and then when we meditate, we'll have these people in our mind, if that's okay with you.
Okay, how many people? I can only see 6
We're
people.
like
How many are there?
We're like 10.
Oh, good. Okay, so I live half my time. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm finally putting my camera on. So there's, I live half the time in Berkeley, where Ava is my roommate for a couple of years back in the early 90s. So we go back to 1989 actually. And the other half of the year I live in Paris. And a friend of mine was, he was somebody who was always visiting people who were isolated, people who were sick. We live near a lot of blind people here in this area. And I ran into him after the shutdown, and he told me he'd led 2 people to the supermarket that morning, blind people, to get their food for them. And I was really worried that he wasn't obeying the confinement orders. And he went to hospital 3 days later, and he died 2 weeks ago, Thursday. And last Friday, they incinerated his body. That's the way they say it here. They cremated his body. And I created a ceremony, sort of a la Ava. Ava's always been so wonderful at creating ceremonies. And I created a ceremony in my church. I could only ask a few people because of social distancing. But I had people read out loud from the 25 different testimonies that people had written about him. And we prayed the prayer that he liked to pray. And so I'd like us to keep in mind Jean-Louis Lepage, a wonderful man, a martyr really to the COVID-19.
Thank you. Jean-Louis Lepage.
Jean-Louis Lepage, it's L-E-P-A-G-E, Lepage.
May his soul be blessed in high above. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Reuven, you have anybody?
Yeah, Noam Yehuda, who is the youngest son of our friends David, Rabbi David Zicharon Livracha, Yehuda, and his wife Shoshana, who died in 1982 in Lebanon. It's a famous battle. He's remembered every year on his yahrzeit by his entire surviving family, which is quite extensive. He had 4 siblings, they're all married with children. So he has many living nephews and grandnephews. And also, I don't know his name, but the nephew of our friend, Ruti Gubkin, her sister's son, who was also killed in Lebanon, a different episode, where a tank he was traveling in had an aerial, and the aerial struck a high tension wire, and everyone in the I think one person was electrocuted, and he tried to pull him away, and then he was killed by the same charge. One of those accidents of war.
Rudy. Good. May his soul be blessed.
Amen.
Amen. Judith, you want to share some? Okay. Thank you, Reuven. And Stephen, do you have anybody you'd like to mention from California? Maybe.
I just want to say, first of all, I'm from Marin, San Anselmo, California. And I know Eva Hey, Laura. I know Eva when she was doing the Tulip Temple in nearby, and it was my job to smudge people as they were coming in. And I met a lot of people with very high level of consciousness and healing energy. And so I was really honored to be part of that. And who I think of now is just a very contemporary scene, all the people all over the world who are victims of this terrible disease and don't know where it's going to go, and you know, just not trying to stay buoyant through this madness.
Right. Yes. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? Diane? Okay.
Is Rachel here?
She couldn't make it today. Yes, Rachel Gaty will probably have a few friends too. And we have now Kat Jenkins. Can you hear us? Hello, hello. Are you from United Kingdom? Kat? Okay. How about Chaim Cohen? Do you want to say any words before we start? Okay, looks like everybody is on mute. Oh, there's another Kat. Can you hear us? Okay. Can't unmute you, unfortunately. Mordechai, are you there? Sorry,
Eva, I'm
okay, we
here.
won't be
I'm
able to
here.
get out his name.
Eva, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello,
Okay,
hello.
so there are some Chaim Cohen, Diane, iPad, Shana, Neve, and Kat. They all have to unmute themselves if they want to speak. They are unmuted from the panel, but they have self-muted. So if those people want to speak, they have to unmute themselves.
All right. I hope you heard that. We would love to hear from where you are and if you wanted to mention any loved one who passed away. I guess we will have to wait for them for the second round then. Okay, I guess we went through the
Hi, Ava.
list.
I can unmute for a second. I'm almost to my computer, so you'll be able to see me. But
Maui, yay.
yeah, so I'm just happy to be a part of the call. I don't have anyone in particular to
Luckily,
mention.
yes. Doesn't need to have, God forbid.
I met lovely Ava here on Maui, and has given me lots of insights and growth. So I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Thank you for joining the other side of the world. Wow.
Yeah, well, I was just getting my coffee. It's kind of early still here.
Yes. Coffee. So Sarah Kraft from Jerusalem. Hello.
Hello, Eva. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, it's good to see you live. I would like to bring down the neshamas of my parents. I don't often get to do this. My father, Yitzchak ben Eliyahu, and my mother, Miriam bat Rivka. And I really want to learn about how to connect more deeply and fully with them.
Okay.
And they really were a product of their society in America. So it's really important for me to know how to channel them more clear energy. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yud Adar. Yes. Kat Jenkins, you want to mention where you're from and if you have anything before the meditation that you'd like to share? One who is sick or affected by this pandemic or in the wars of Israel or Second World War that you'd like to put their soul's name. Okay, Ronit Sheffi, are you here? Can you hear us?
Ronita's here, but she has her camera off and her microphone is muted.
Wonderful. I'm glad she's on board also. Okay, so we'll start the meditation, and then I'm just going to say a few wonderful words about Mordechai, who I'm actually just going to bring the meditation to him, so we won't be talking too much. So I know Mordechai from my days living in Tzfat, the Kabbalistic city of Israel, I guess the most Kabbalistic city in the world. And we've done a lot of beautiful things together with wonderful friends like
I want to put in the names. You can do it. Naftali Franco.
You can do it.
Okay.
And so Mordechai David Naseck, he lives now in California with his beautiful wife, Elena. And he is actually an international lecturer and teacher of holistic healing and a Reiki master, a yoga and meditation instructor, and also studied a lot of Kabbalah. And he'll lead us in the work of the soul's journey, and that we're really actually applying, and we are continuing this journey of God's created world. And stay tuned for more soon. Okay, so please sit in a comfortable position, and maybe put your beautiful back towards a chair, or and maybe in a yoga position, and or lying down. Can you all hear me? Can you put a hand? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, great. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so now is the time for you and for us to elevate our consciousness into a higher place of receiving love and kindness and honoring our loved ones from above. Shem Hashem naseh v'natzliach, Yeshua Hashem k'eref ayin. I want to invite also Archangel Michael to our right.
Eva, sorry, but your whatever button you just hit is making a very high piercing sound.
It was the bell, the symbol.
Oh, okay.
So to our right, we have our Archangel Michael, who's here for protection and for holding a space of love for us. And on our left, we have Archangel Gabriel, who's for strength and Gvura. So we have Chesed and Gvura on both our sides, and on behind of us, we have Raphael, who's our healer, and we really need him now. And this month of the Hebrew month Iyar is the month of healing, Hashem Rofecha. So God is here to really heal our souls and our physical being. It's very appropriate for this pandemic. And in front of us, I'm inviting Archangel Uriel. Above us, Shechinat El, the feminine principle of God. And then just feel your body sinking deeply into the chair or where you're lying or sitting. And put your hands on your stomach and just breathe gently into who you are. A few deep breaths. And inhale with your mouth and breathe out. Inhale with your nose and breathe out with your mouth. And breathe out the old and the day, and breathe in the new and next day. And breathe in the new and breathe out the old. And bring in a new consciousness, a golden dome above your being, protecting and loving you. And one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach. Maybe just sway inside this golden dome of liquid divine love and light. Just keep your spine straight, 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 higher up to your soul's connection to divine light. Your I am presence is around 1 meter above you. Your crown chakra can be higher, the Keter. And feel the love and light from God, Spirit Hashem, embracing you like a liquid of golden light, bringing calm presence into your being through your crown chakra, or Keter, into your head, softening your eyes, softening your face, your brain, like a liquid lake of calm stillness, and down through your throat, and breathe into your throat, and breathe out any restrictions there. And then feel this golden liquid come down your arms, your torso, into your heart. And as you breathe, you're meeting your own soul inside your body. And feeling the protection of the archangels and God's love for you, for who you are in this world. And then slowly into your stomach, your lower chakras and legs. Anchoring your feet into Mother Earth. And your mind is clear, like swans in a clear lake, peacefully swimming into a mindless state. And thanking your soul, your beinghood, for being here on this planet in these times. And as you feel Mother Earth is holding you, she also brings loving earth energy and warmth to your body to be strong in these times. She wants you to bloom into who you are. And let Mother Earth and Father Sky or Hashem or your divine connection to above meet in your heart. And as we close our eyes, we're actually allowing to listen. Not to our mind this time, but to our heart. And the heart has a little muscle that if you bring up your sides of the mouth a little bit, that muscle opens up. It kind of makes you smile. It's a muscle of love. And breathe into that place of loving yourself, honoring yourself for all the hard work you've done in this lifetime. And now we can also connect to our loved ones on this earth and the heart we have and love for them. And feel our connection also to those who have passed, maybe through our third eye or our mind's eye. And as we do that, imagine you're enveloped, if you so wish, inside a beautiful tulip. holding you as a sacred vessel of protection and love, to receive from above abundance, and send love to those on the other side who passed. Or your parents, if they're on the other side, or loved ones. Imagining maybe your hands reaching out in prayers for the divine to guide us in these times, and for them to journey to higher places of love, and for their soul to heal each month as they rise higher up in their soul journey. And when we send love and light to those who passed fast, who didn't have a man or woman hold their hand as they were dying, who didn't have appropriate burial. Send love and light to those we miss. And know that they are with us and they love us so much. And maybe now there's a reason why so many have gone. For the coming times we need to cooperate, we need to work together on all levels, all dimensions. And know that God loves us so much. We have some work to do. We need to be strong. And imagine angelic realm pampering you with love and golden light around your being, your soul, so you can be stronger. And if you hear any message from the other side or people that you love who passed on, take it to your heart. We really don't die. We're still all connected. And let's send love and light to the whole planet with white doves. Of peace from Jerusalem. All over the world. All countries, continents, islands, the sea people, even all the way to Hawaii and back. The more we meditate and send love to this planet, the light will be stronger. So thank you for being here, and let's keep doing this more and more. And slowly, slowly feel the petals of the tulip hold you tight and lovingly. And as we start to come back to this chair and back to this Zoom world, remember who we are. And our purpose, and that our loved ones above are with us. And may all the people who died in the wars and terror and in this last pandemic and any natural disasters, may their soul be blessed. תהיה נשמתם צרורה בצרור החיים לעדי עולמי עולמים. אמן.
Amen.
For the 6 million who passed, who were killed in the Shoah. Okay, so I'm passing the magic wand to Mordechai to continue, and then afterwards we'll do more sharing.
Thank you, Eva. Thanks for having me here. Wish it was for a more happier occasion, but anyway, thanks for inviting me to be with you and your people, and some of them who I already know. Greetings to my beautiful friends in Svat. And so I just want to start with a prayer, and then we'll keep on moving into the space that Eva created for us. Ana bakoach gedulachi mincha tetirtzira kabel rinatamcha sagvenu terenu nura nagibor doshe yechutcha kavavat shomrem bachem terem rachamei tzidketecha tamid gomrem chasin kadosh barov tucha nehel adatecha yechid ge'eh lamchapne zokrei kedushatecha Shabbatenu kabel ushmat saktenu yode'a ta'alamot. So, as Eva beautifully stated, that the souls are eternal, I want to go into that because in this time of honoring people whose souls have left the planet from the places that Eva spoke about, and we're honoring some of those people today. I want to dedicate this to all of those souls, that their souls have an aliyah, that they rise into higher and higher levels to closer proximity to the divine, and that may all of their families receive love and support, and may they be uplifted, and may their hearts be filled with all the compassion that there is to fill it.
Amen.
So Einstein came up with his theory of E equals mc squared, that basically tells us that energy is eternal. It just transforms itself. For instance, if we're in the desert of the Negev and we have an ice cube and we put it on the desert floor, it's going to melt pretty fast. And then it's a puddle of water. And that puddle of water will be there for not too long either. And then it evaporates into a gas, but it still is. It just changes form. And that's what I've learned is the nature of the soul, that our souls have always been, they are now, and they will continue to always exist. But they will just take different forms. And I know I'm not sharing anything new with any of you. You guys could probably be teaching me. So when we believe and know that the ones that have left are still with us in some way, that can bring us peace, that their souls are in the universe, alive and well, and very present, probably even more present than when they were here on this planet. And someone asked, I think it was Shana, how to connect with parents that are deceased. And I learned from a Rabbi, David Cooper, that in the Jewish tradition, we're not to call upon souls of the deceased, to communicate with them unless they come to us. There's only one condition, one circumstance in which we are allowed to connect with them, those souls that have left. And that is to ask that soul if there's anything that we could do for them here on this planet right now that they were not able to do when they were here. So we can be an emissary to do something for them that they're unable to do because they're not in this world, this specific world right now. And so we can ask, we can connect with those souls to say, to ask, on your behalf, is there anything you would like me to do? To fix something for you, to do something, to say something, to make something happen on any level on this world. And whatever their request is, you can do that for them. And I think that's a really beautiful way to be able to connect with someone that's no longer here. I happened to be driving across the desert when I heard this teaching of David Cooper. And when I heard this, right around that time, my big brother passed away from the Big Brother, Big Sister program. And he had a little child. He left a child and his wife. So in that moment, I asked David, my big brother, is there anything I can do? And I heard him tell me to go to find his son and to tell his son about him. Mm-hmm. Because I spent a lot of time with him as a little brother in the Big Brother, Big Sister program. So I called his wife, Chris, in Texas, and I told him what happened. And I wound up going to San Antonio and sharing this idea with Chris, and spending time with her son to tell his son, Jeff, about his dad, David. And it was pretty incredible. And I could totally feel the presence of David's soul when I was talking to Chris about doing this, and when I was sharing with Jeff, his son, about his dad. And it's very beautiful. So may David's soul have an aliyah. And may all our parents who are no longer here, if that's the situation, have an aliyah. And may we be able to continue our connection with them and deepen our connection with them by asking them if there's anything we can do for them in this world. And know that it's quite holy work. It's quite holy work. So, around this situation of war that Eva spoke about and what's going on right now with COVID-19, there's a lot of emotions swirling around from the realm of fear to the realm of love. And as you all know, all emotions and all actions and behaviors stem from one of two places, and that's love or fear. And really, there's a big battle going on right now between fear and love in this time. And what I've learned is that the light and the love always wins. I mean, if you go into a closet and close the door and it's pitch black in there, and the moment you light a match, what happens to the darkness? It's instantly gone. The darkness cannot remain in the light. It's physics. It's spiritual. So when there is any type of darkness or fear happening with you or someone that you love, what we can do is just connect to our love, to the divine love, and shine that light on the darkness. And that darkness will transform into light and into love. Even in Star Wars, Darth Vader, in one of the last movies, he acknowledged when he takes his masks off to his son, Luke Skywalker, he said he moved to the dark side. He thought it was more powerful. And he learned that was not true. So even in the end, one of the most darkest people comes back to the light. And that movie is a spiritually based movie with all kinds of spiritual innuendos woven into it. It's the myth of our time. And it's the story of all time, the fight of dark and light. And we are in a time of the highest light coming into the vessels, to the kli, to the containers that we're holding. And we are being asked to put more and more super glue on the containers that we're containing so they don't shatter. And those containers are ourselves. That we have to be able to hold more darkness, more pain, more suffering, more everything for all of humanity, because we are the ones that are the vessels of this light that need to be a beacon for all of humanity. In older times, there were gurus, there were tzaddikim, there were sages that people followed because they had light, and they were the beacon for a mass group of people. There aren't so many of those peoples, maybe 36 now. And we're being asked to be those people, every one of us. So we have to find the place where there's cracks, where there's holes, where energy is seeping out, and things are starting to fragment and shake and break. And we have to apply more glue. And what's the glue? The glue is love. Love is the glue stick that holds the whole universe together. If there wasn't the force of love, electrons, neutrons, and protons would not be hanging out together. They just fly away. Okay, love is the force of consciousness. It's the main ingredient. And we all have access to it because we all have a deep heart and a deep soul. And when we go into that deep heart and deep soul and connect with that love and stay in that love and emanate that love, this is the glue that we need to stay strong. So I want to do a meditation where we can strengthen the vessel and ourselves, for ourselves and for each other, and where we can purify and cleanse and clean out the darkness and invite it to the right side of the light. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. You can lie down or sit down. If you're sitting, place your soles of your feet on the floor. If you're levitating, you can just feel your sits bones moving into the floor. And we're going to use the fire of the holy city of Jerusalem, the fire of purification, the fire of passion, the divine fire. There's black fire, there's white fire. We're going to use the holy white fire. So imagine this fire, this divine fire, this white fire. And imagine that inside your very own heart. And you might even feel the heat of the fire. You might feel the breeze that the fire creates. If you sit by a campfire, you can feel the wind, the ruach, the spirit of the fire, moving things. And when you're clearing energy with a fire, you can sometimes even see the fire spiral. Like when you empty the water in your bathtub, it spirals. The fire can do that. Like a tornado. So begin to feel the heat in your heart. And feel the fire begin to circulate in your heart. And even though there's this fire, I promise you it won't burn you. This fire is not to burn you. It's only to burn away the things that you are not, that you were never. This is the fire of purification. The things that you thought you were supposed to be, the things that you were told to be, that you didn't want to be, but you did anyway because you wanted people's approval. Patterns or behaviors or thought patterns that no longer serve you, send them into the fire. And let the light enter the place where these things used to live after they've been burnt up. Divine light, golden light, entering the places where these things that you just put in the fire, wherever they took space, bring the light into that place. All the nooks and crannies. And just scan your body and find any place that was like built on a house of cards, not a very stable foundation. And with one blow of a gust of wind, that thing will be crashed down. And when you notice something like that, voluntarily take it down. And ask the divine light to show you how to build a very strong foundation from which other things can be built upon. That won't crumble and that won't tower down or fall down with the breath of the wind. Giving you stability and something to stand on that's rock solid to support you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And now in your relationships, let this holy fire stand between you and someone you're in relationship with, any type of relationship. And let the heat and the power of the fire burn away any negativity. And now your family members are around this fire. And this fire is burning up any negativity any fear between you and all the members of your family. Burning away any old ways of communications or patterns or dynamics that are painful and no longer serving anybody. They're just propping up power or ego or something that's even very unconscious. We don't even know what it is, but it causes pain. Let the fire purify these places, the holy divine fire, so that new ways of love and communication, thinking, emotions, behaviors manifest in this new space from which the old has now been put into the holy white fire. And now more people come to this fire, your community. All the people in your community are standing around this fire. And in this fire, everything's getting burnt away except the love. The divine love and light is so present, it's so warm, it might even be so hot. And as you look into this divine fire, you see some letters. And these letters are golden. They're radiating light and heat. And they're the letters of the Tetragrammaton. The letters Yud, the letter He, the letter Vav, the letter He. And those letters emanate from the fire and come close to your heart. And everyone in the community is experiencing this. And feeling the presence of this holy fire rectifies, purifies, cleanses, rejuvenates, heals, satiates, fills everything, making it easy for your kli, your vessel, your container to stay together and hold even more. It's like your glass container is getting warmed and it can stretch like a glass blower. The glass blower is the divine. And we're merging with the glass blower's breath right now. The glass blower's breath is stretching and opening our vessel, our container. We are the molten glass that's becoming more for the sole purpose to give more. And now all the people that are in your town, your city, your state are around this circle, this fire. And this fire is burning up any negativity, any fear, any force of darkness is getting burnt up. Friends, business people, politicians, organizations, groups. The light of this holy fire is purifying all negative energy. All dark energy is not able to sustain itself in this light. Just like when you lit the match in your closet, the darkness cannot remain. And now we're bringing all the people in your nation, whatever nation you're a part of, they're around the fire now. Whatever religion you're a part of, all those people are around this fire now. This fire is consuming any darkness of dogma, of control, of fear. This holy fire is burning away all darkness now. And now we bring around the circle other religions, other nations. This is a big gathering. And this holy white fire is fueling all of it. Continue to see, feel, and witness this holy fire burning away the darkness in all religions, all nations, all countries. Control is dissolving. Free will is evolving. Destiny is returning. The voice of the people is returning. The voice from their deep heart and soul is being spoken. The energy of all these people's hearts is being felt. When you pump gasoline into your vehicle, you can see the gas coming out of the gasoline, and it looks like your vision is distorted. When you see this group of people and this fire, you can see the energy moving and shifting layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. All the animals, all the sea creatures, all the trees, all the plants are now in the circle. And just imagine if you're out in space looking at the little blue marble planet Earth and you see all this happening. The Earth is getting purified of darkness. See the Earth covered with white light. Not just covered, but seeing it come from the core of the Earth, cleansing and healing every layer of the Earth, all life force, plant, stone, water, people, earth, fire, air, metal, And step a few paces back and see the whole universe being purified of darkness. You can see other planets and gases and star systems. And this light that's emanating from your heart in the circle of all these people and the planet is purifying and healing any darkness in our worlds, in our galaxy, in our universe. And just as consciousness is ever present and ever growing and ever changing, this fire is ever bigger, going to the further and further places of existence, and will continue forever to do this, to keep the light safe, to keep the light present, to keep the darkness at bay, continuing to transform darkness into the light. And it is the darkness that's here for a purpose, to show us what needs to get transformed into the light. The darkness is also from the light, but it's here for us to bring consciousness to it so we can transform it. Because everything is from the divine presence. And the darkness is a gift that has been bestowed upon us to transform us, to make us stronger, to bring down more consciousness, period. And this is how it is. This is how it's been, and this is how it will be. Ana Bakoach, Gedulati Mincha Tetirtsura, Kabel Rinatamcha, Sagvenu Terenu Nura, Nagibor Doshe Yehudcha Kevavat Shomrem, Barchem, Toram, Rachamei, Tzitketecha, Tamid Gomlem, Chasim Kadosh, Barov Tzufcha, Nahel Adatecha, Yehid Ge'e, Lamcha Pnei Zakrei Kedushatecha, Shavatenu Kabel, Ushmat Zaktenu, Yodea Ta'alamot. Consciousness returns to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, fill your belly. Exhale, belly contracts. Inhale, fill your belly. Exhale, belly contracts. Feeling the rise and the fall of the belly with each breath, the inhale and the exhale. As you feel your toes and your fingers wiggling toes and fingers connected to the arms and to the legs. Feel the air around your face. Feel the place that you're actually physically in. And continue to feel the place where you've been, because they're both simultaneously happening. And whenever you're ready, gently, softly,